You know, one of the things I've always been curious about is why in some movies they only read one hand, and then I saw when I did a palm reading that both hands have to count, and I always wonder why it was. So why do we always have to read both hands during a hand reading? Well, when reading a palm is always we're gonna ask whether a person first they're right-handed or left-handed. Either way, it is wise to look at both hands. Although we concentrate on reading the dominant hand will be the hand that you use the most to write mostly. Each hand offers valuable information, but with a slightly different view. So the dominant hand changes far more than the recessive hand. The dominant hand is the one used for writing and from complex manual tasks. It is also usually the strongest hand. Because the dominant hand changes as we change, it offers the most up-to-date information. It is the hand of the now and of the future as of now. The well-developed mounts on this hand have the most influence on the personality. And its lines and show the current life circumstances. Now for the recessive hand changes very little over time, but it does show us the characteristics given at birth. Everything written in the recessive hand is considered to be a possibility, which is stored in the subconscious mind. The recessive hand shows untapped aspects of the self or qualities lying dormant within. Possibilities. A palmistry saying sums it up. The recessive hand shows the qualities given at birth, while the dominant hand shows what's to become of them. We can see, for better or worse, how a person has evolved from the original psychic blueprint of the palm. Some people stay very close to the original pattern, and the two hands will appear quite similar. More often, there is a difference between the hands, and this can tell you a great deal. You can often see at a glance if the person has not lived up to their full potential, or whether they have significantly evolved a part of themselves or overcome a challenge. The differences can appear anywhere. In the development of the mouse, as you can see here on this picture, the left-hand side, or what it will be the right-hand side of the person, in this case is presented on the left hand, has a very high Jupiter mount on both hands. However, you can see that in the present, this person has not evolved as much as it could be its possibility. The differences can appear anywhere, like we said, in the mounts, in the clarity of the lines, or in basic modifiers that we will learn later on different modules. Any of these differences can have a strong impact on the personality. Occasionally, you can meet someone that it is ambidextrous. That means a person that has learned how to use both hands for writing or doing essential tasks. Sometimes this person has changed or was forced to change handedness by parents or life circumstances. This is going to be a little bit more complex. In reading these hands, you may have to concentrate on what the two hands have in common, which might be a great deal. You will still have so much to tell to these people, although you will have to ask more questions. Asking questions not only is a good habit to acquire, but as reading as a hand palmistry or reader, you should be thoughtful and thought of a partnership between you and the person whose hand you're reading. For an ambidextrous person, you can use each hand for different kinds of information. For example, you can ask which hand the person uses for writing, and that will be the hand used to interpret the headline. The hand used for manual or sport activities will be the one with the up-to-date information on the lifeline. You can also determine which hand to use for the hardline by asking which they use to reach out to other people. Whether reading the palms of someone who is right-handed, left-handed, or ambidextrous, comparing the two hands is fascinating and informative, and allowed us to get a more comprehensive picture of the person that you're reading. In the next module, we're going to learn about the basic modifiers and the attributes that make each hand unique.